Hey there, this is Quinlan the Warlock, and this is a PvP commentary of Warsong Gulch. The reason I've been doing so many PvP commentaries of Warsong Gulch is because I'm actually working on getting Master of Warsong Gulch, and eventually I'm hoping to get the Battle Master achievement. I have every achievement in the Warsong Gulch category, including the 100 wins, except for the return 50 flags. But just the reason behind that is because I don't know, it just depends on the game. Like, if people are really focused on returning the flag, then I can get only really like 1 or 2, and that means I have to be right beside the enemy FC every time, and I'm not always doing that. Sometimes I'm doing other things, but depending on the game, if they're not really focused on returning the flag, I can actually get 4 or 5. I think I had one game actually where I got 6, so I should actually be getting that within maybe a week or so, maybe less, hopefully. Alright, so with that Death Knight, I beat him pretty easily. The reason I opened up with Death Coil on him is because my computer lagged a little bit, and I thought he was still in his mount when I clicked the Death Coil button, but actually he dismounted and I didn't see that, so that was my bad. Alright, so I don't know, that Warlock's dead anyway, but just in case he got away, I soul swapped to him. So, basically, I'm just going to talk a bit about 4.06, some of the things I liked and some of the things I disliked. I really liked about 4.6, the fact that Fell Armor now works with single target periodic damage, but that's also a nerf, depending on how you look at it, because what Fell Armor used to be was 2% untalented and 4% if you talented into the demonology tree of your maximum health every 5 seconds, I think, and that was pretty useful. But now what it is it gives you 3% of your single target damage and 6% if you talent into it as health. And the reason that I think that's either a buff or a nerf is because in arenas, I think it's probably a nerf, especially because sometimes you'll just be wanting to regenerate a bit of health and you might not have dots on anybody, and that when that happens, you're not getting any health at all. And that's obviously a nerf, and also you're just not doing as much dot damage in arenas. But I think it's definitely a buff in Battlegrounds at the moment, because you can have dots on 4 to 5 people as an Affliction Warlock, so you could just through soul swapping. I have dots on that guy, I have dots on, and then like you can just have dots on so many guys. Like, now that I have dots, this isn't really a good example because I'm really just focusing on getting this Hunter off me at the moment. But yeah, you can just have dots on a lot of people, and that's really awesome. And that gives you a lot of health. Sometimes my health regeneration is insane when I have dots on 4 or 5 people in big battles and Battlegrounds. One of the other things that happened in 4.06 was Curse of Exhaustion. Got nerfed down to 30%, and that was big. That's really big. And it's really bad. It's so bad because before 4.06 and 4.03, I could just kite rogues, warriors, any melee so easily. Because 50% was so much movement speed reduction. Like, it's almost as much as rogues crippling poison, and like that's huge. Like, I could just keep running and I could spam Fell Flame on him and have all my dots on him, and yeah, it was great. But now what sucks about it is with 30%, that's not that much, especially with most melee classes such as Death Knights and Rogues having a passive 15% movement speed increase from talents. And so, I think it's 15%, so you put Curse of Exhaustion on a Rogue, he's only slowed 15%. Like, that's really nothing in the long run. And he gets 1 knife on you, you have 70% crippling poison. And when that happens, you only have 3 ways of getting out of that, because a good Rogue is going to kick your fears every time unless you successfully fake cast. And if you get the fake cast off, you can fear. But if you don't get the fake cast off, then you only have 3 options. You have your Demonic Circle, which is still a pretty big cooldown. You have Death Coil, which though that also got buffed in 4.06, because now with the 4-piece Battleground set, Death Coil's cooldown is reduced by 30 seconds, I think. But yeah, so that also got kind of buffed. So the cooldown on Death Coil is a lot lower than it used to be, but still it's a big enough cooldown. I think it's 2 minutes and a half now, or 1 minute and a half, I'm not really sure. I gotta check that, but yeah, so you have Death Coil, Howl of Terror, and Demonic Circle, and all of those are more than a 20-second cooldown. And so a rogue can catch up to you really easily. He has his vanish to get out of to get on your back again and open up on you with Garrote or whatever he does. Actually, it depends on the spec. It's not always Garrote, but Garrote gives the silence. So he has vanish to get back on you again. He has Cloak of Shadows to get back on you again, and he has sprint to get back on you again. And if he's subtly, he has Shadow Step to get back on you again. So the 4th time he's back on your back. You have nothing. You have no way of getting out of it, and you're screwed. Like then your only choice is to attempt a fake cast fear. And if you screw up the fake cast and he actually kicks your fear, then you're done. Because Rogue's damage right now is still ridiculous. Okay, what else happened in 4.06? Okay, yeah, that's basically all about Curse of Exhaustion. And one of the things that I also didn't like is that they took away the Fell Hunter's Devour Magic as auto cast, and now it has to be manual casted. And I bet the pros, I know the pros were already manually casting it, but I'm not a pro, and I'm still not good enough to focus on what buffs every opponent has at a specific time and to dispel those. I don't know, I guess I'm getting better, and I bet soon I'd be able to do that, and I obviously have to try and do that now, because they took away the autocast, but, yeah, I don't know, I don't really like it at the moment, but I've macroed in the Devour Magic with a few other things that I need to do, and I've put a keybind to it, and now I'm just trying to cast it more often. Alright, so, yeah, that's basically it. Now I'm going to talk about a bit of things I've heard about from 4.1, from MMO Champion. One big thing, and this is really awesome, is that Affliction's damage is going to be buffed by 5%, and that's a lot. 5% adds up like crazy. It's just, I don't know, I guess we weren't doing enough damage, really. So what happened was, when you choose Affliction, you get a 25% shadow speed buff. Shadow damage buff. Yeah, you got a 25% shadow damage buff, and now that's being buffed up to 30% damage. But one thing that really sucks about 4.1, and this is huge for Affliction, like this is probably going to make a lot of Affliction Warlocks really sad, is that Soul Swap has been, its cooldown when you have Glyph of Soul Swap, which is a must-have glyph. For any Affliction Warlock who doesn't have Glyph of Soul Swap, I don't know what they're doing. But with Glyph of Soul Swap's cooldown is now 15 seconds. They were going to bring that in 4.06, but they chose not to. They chose to hold on a bit, to hold on until 4.1 before and check out 4.6 and see if it was needed. And I guess they have realized that it was needed, actually. And so now it's going to be 15 seconds. And yeah, that's just completely awful, because the way Soul Swap works right now, its cooldown is just